everybody. Welcome to Mom Ballz.
Hey,
Hi, Mom
Hi,
Ballz.
I'm Latuanis.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Nilka. Welcome, guys.
Welcome this afternoon. We just want to remind you before we get into our episode today to please go to Mom Ballz podcast on uh, YouTube and subscribe, like, and share, and put us on notifications so you will know when we have an episode dropping.
Yes, yes.
Yes, which is every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. Yes, we're
Yes.
excited about that.
And so
So,
now, Milka, why don't you start us off today by telling us in this segment, who is winning in the IE?
I will. Listen, I'm thrilled because today, the person who's winning in the IE is also one of our guests. So we are just so enthusiastic to share their story. This is Racquel and Dom. I'm going to first talk about Dom. He's winning in the IE. And let me start with his accolades. I mean, that's going to tell you everything about him, okay? His name is Dominic Perez, but we call him lovingly Dom. And okay, so he is currently a sophomore at the University of Redlands, but he started his high school career as a freshman varsity starter at Corona High School. He got Rookie of the Year. And that year, what our segment is going to be about today is persevering through loss. And that year, he lost his dad, but we're going to let them share that story with you shortly. And he moved on and transferred to another school after that happened. But he was a sophomore senior at Rancho Cucamonga High School. He made second team all conference. He was the left guard to CJ Stroud, Ohio State quarterback. Get excited. He was currently and last year. He was currently and last year a Heisman Trophy nominee. We wanted him to win this year, but he didn't get it. It's okay. But he's still amazing. But they know CJ Stroud since he was a little boy. He made his junior year, his junior year, he made first team all conference and second team all state. And then he didn't have a senior year because it was COVID. He's made honor roll 8 semesters in high school. He graduated with a 4.2 GPA at the yes, at the University of Redlands. He's the he's the graduating class of 2025. I said he's a freshman and sophomore starter. He started as a freshman, started as a sophomore. He's a center, right? He's currently all conference academic team and holds a GPA of 3.965. That's a 4.0. That's a 4.0.
right.
He recently told his mom that he declared his major to be economics. Whether or not he's going to study abroad for his master's is something that he's deciding. But Dom, congratulations. You really are winning. We're so proud of you. I watch the University of Redlands. I don't know if you know Lawrence Williams, but he's Jaden's best friend and he plays on your team. And you're just doing amazing things. Since the day I met you, I've known that you've been an amazing kid and your mom sings your praises all the time. You make her so proud and you make us all proud. You're winning in the IE. Woo-woo.
Very good. Awesome.
Congratulations.
So I want to tell y'all a little bit about how I met Racquel and Dom. Jaden was going to be a freshman at Corona High School because the coach at the time didn't know that Jaden was not 14. He was not able to play on the varsity team. And that was really the only reason we were going, because Jaden was going to have the opportunity to play varsity at freshman at Corona High School, but not being 14 yet, it was not legal. So at that point, Lamar made a decision and moved him to a different school. But we had met Racquel and at the time your father and Dom, and we were all kind of rallying around Coach G to bring this team together at Corona High School. And then, life happened, and then we just watched Dom with grace and perseverance and endurance just continue to shine through that. And we prayed for y'all and we were always just rooting for y'all. So Racquel, I'd like for you to introduce yourself briefly. If you want to tell something about yourself, and Dom, not too much because I just shared everything about Dom, but go ahead and tell us your story. And we would love to just hear your version and Dom's version, and take it away.
Okay, Racquel Perez. I'm Dominic's mom. I'm just so proud of my son. We have had a journey, as you briefly, spoke about. Dominic had just finished his freshman year. He was the night before Andrew passed away. He had a college showcase, and I just remember this, and it's so dear to my heart. Dominic received his varsity letter, and he was so excited to take it home to his dad. And so his dad was home, and he just was so proud of his varsity letter. And that was the night before he passed away. So after Andrew passed away, we made a decision to move him to, and we moved as a family to the Rancho Cucamonga, Fontana area, and didn't know much about Rancho High School. I did a little bit of research behind their academics. That was really important for me. And so we went in there, and Dominic met some coaches, and I remember the conversation that Coach Verde, the head coach, had with me, saying, well, he's going to have to work for his spot. I normally don't. We don't normally put sophomores in a position of varsity. And I said, okay, well, I'm sure you're going to be happy with my son. And so yeah, he started off there, and just went all the way to sophomore and junior year, and then unfortunately COVID hit, and so his senior year wasn't what we all hoped and planned on. He had some coaches talking about we're looking for senior film, and unfortunately that didn't happen for him. So we got the call, and Redlands came out and watched him practice, and just offered him, and it's just been all college mode, go Redlands Bulldogs since then.
Tell us, Racquel, how he's been going to college so far for free.
Yes. We have just with the school and the FAFSA Pell grants. It's been a blessing. The school also, because of his higher GPA, also gives him
Academic money.
Achievement, yes. Grant awards, right? Yeah. So it is it can be free at a Division III, absolutely.
Racquel, he stays on campus? Is there a campus?
No.
Okay.
Dominic, we live within 30 miles within the campus. So they gave him the option to either live on campus or live at home. Okay. And of course, prices would be different if he did live on campus, but he chose to live at home.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
Dom, if you would, and I don't want you, if this is something that's too hard for you to talk about, then, just share as much as you can or as much as you want. After you found out your father passed away, what inside of you, how did you continue to be who you are today? Because I know you did not miss a beat. You did not miss a beat. I know that the community was praying for you and we rallied around you. But if you are inclined to share, what was it that made you keep pushing and continue to be the bright, shining star that you are?
And also, how long has it been?
How long has it been?
Andrew passed away May 11th of 2018. It was the end of his freshman high school year.
Okay.
4 years, right?
So it's been 4 years.
A little over 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I first got to give a shout out to my mom, because she was the most involved in my life besides my father. But also, when I was at Corona High School, I have to give a shout out to Coach G.
Yes.
Because Coach G, he was, at the time, I was really questioning my playability. I was thinking to myself, well, with this loss, I really can't be playing football anymore, or I felt like I couldn't. Like, he was one of the first people to say, you got to keep playing football because that's something your dad would want you to do. Unfortunately, we had to move back out to Fontana, to a rancho closer to family, so we had to move away from the school. But without him, I probably wouldn't be playing football today.
That's awesome.
He's
So he was like a voice and a mentor and a father figure. He stepped in even stronger.
Yes. He was one of the first people to step in as a mentor and a pseudo father figure for myself.
That's beautiful. So you did.
That's awesome. Do you keep in touch with him? I'm sorry, Milka. Do you keep in touch with Coach G now? Are you still?
Briefly. I do follow him on a couple of social medias, but we don't really keep close contact anymore. Yeah.
He'll message me every once and again because I'm the one that's more actively on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really not active on social media.
Like on Facebook.
What about TikTok?
No, I don't listen to that.
No, he doesn't. He's really he spends a lot of time in the studies. Of course, football season ended not too long ago, and Dominic is a trainer in the community. He has a couple of kids that he trains in the offensive position, lineman position, and so he has about 4 to 6 boys that come and see him every weekend.
Awesome.
So he's busy.
Yeah.
Try to stay busy because that's one of the things that will really help someone in my position, especially being a man in this world, is just being preoccupied with positive, I wouldn't say chores, but positive activities, helping out the younger generations and keeping yourself self-centered on your goals.
Yeah.
That's something that really I had to mature after my father passed away, was making sure I kept myself out of bad things, out of being surrounded by bad friends, being surrounded by people who would help motivate myself. And going to Rancho after Corona, that being a school where a lot of people there focus on academics, the teachers there, the coaches there, they really helped me keep me centered on football, academics, and being an all-around good man. So I have to give a shout out to them. And my head coach, Mark Verdi at Rancho, he was also a big mentor for me once I transferred.
Wow. So I'm getting a theme of just paying it forward, like from your dad to you to your high school coach, and now look at what you're doing for your community and for other people that are coming behind you. So kudos to you, Dom.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's awesome. I'm so proud of you. I just listened to you speak and you're so mature. And I know that something like losing your father forces you to become a man. But I've also noticed that your grandparents are a strong figure and you have your grandfather. Tell us a little bit about what role he has played in your life.
I was going to get to that because my grandfather, even both my grandfathers, but I usually spend more time with my grandfather in Fontana, her father. But hearing his story of immigrating to the United States and going into the military and coming out and having a successful life, hearing his struggles, continuing to work to this day at the age of, how old is
69.
69, continuing to work at the age of 69 to give his children and his grandchildren a successful life. That's something that I strive to be, because being rich is one thing, is currently having money, but being wealthy is having enough money to pass down to your future generations. And, I just spent time with him yesterday. Because he was over with family for 3 weeks, and seeing him yesterday, it was just the happiest thing because, that 3 weeks felt like a lifetime for me. So yeah.
You missed him, huh?
I miss my grandfather a lot. So yeah.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
That's
Look
great.
up to the men in your life. And I think that's been key in your success because it started with your dad. I met your dad and he seemed like he was very, very 100% vested in your life and your activities and your schooling and your football. Did your dad play football?
He played briefly in high school. One of the first conversations that Andrew and I had early on when we found out we were having a boy and how important football was and sports in general. He did say that he would like to encourage our son to play sports, because that was something that he wished that he would have had more of the support at home, and also just the same support in the community that he and all of our children have. So that was something that he was really big on, and I played a major role in with Dominic and doing all that youth team mom and all that good stuff. So he was very, very supportive in that, and just with Dominic academically and also athletically.
That's awesome.
So tell us about your siblings. Your mom said there's more than just you, Dom. Tell us about your sibling.
So, my sister, who I keep close contact with, she, I'll be real with you, she is almost like a mother to me at times because she is 14 years older than me.
13.
Okay.
13 years older than me. And, she, oh my gosh, she has been the best female role model in my life. One of the best female role models in my life because growing up, she would always mentor me on the little things that my mother wouldn't touch on. But I have two nieces, so I also have to be a male role model for them.
Yeah.
Someone
Are all you guys in the same area? They live out there?
Yes, they live probably about 10 miles away from us. All of our families within 5 to 10 miles away from us.
Very nice.
My parents, and my sister and my daughter. Yes.
Okay.
She's married. She's grown. She's married with the 2 little girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's your twin. She's your mini me.
Yes, yes.
Racquel, I'd like you to talk to the moms out there how you regrouped and you took your boy and you held him close. And I get emotional because I watched you guys go through this. We had just met you. We've known you like maybe a year.
Right.
We watched you go through this. How you held your boy close and you were determined for him to stay on point and what you did behind the scenes. Tell us a little bit about the details and logistics. Like you had to find out about SATs. At the time, we were still doing all that. You had to find out about, whether or not he could get any free money and all that. Could just kind of give us a synopsis of what you did to make sure that this happened for him.
Well, first and foremost, I have to give all glory to God. Because without him, it was just I'm going to get emotional. It was very, very hard. And for me I had to just follow the path, what Andrew and I had started when he was young. As Dominic's played sports since he was 4. He started with little parks and recreation and then, went on to play, tackle football. And I just had to just trust the process. And, then just kind of staying on course and just being on top of just everything, asking questions, meeting new people, just asking. I mean, if you don't ask, you won't ever know the answer. Being very close with his teachers and his counselors and his coaches and being on the same page and wanting better for my son. And just staying and just stay prayed up, and just staying connected with him and giving him stability, providing stability for him, and just being present, and just being that, that stalker helicopter mom.
We're all familiar with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But transitioning from being a mom and dad in the home to being a single parent, a single mom was extremely hard. And I did.
It's okay.
I did challenge it was challenging, but we're here and we made it. Thank you.
Kudos to you. Kudos to you. So proud of both of you. Before I want you guys to share one last thought, Dom, maybe to some kids out there who have to persevere through loss, and Racquel, you too, just give a last thought. But I would like Latonis and Robin to maybe ask you another question or share your thoughts or whatever you guys want before we close.
Of course.
I personally don't have any more questions. I don't know about you, Robin.
No, I don't have a question, but I just, when you were talking about just the transition from being, with having your husband there as a support to having to do that on your own. I mean, I just commend you because we take for granted sometimes, that people are going to be here or the help that we do get. As like Latonis and Nilka and myself, we all have our husbands in the home and they're an integral part of helping us with our athletes. So I commend you because if it happens to any of us, which it could, happen to any of us, we just have to know by your story that it's still possible. Like never give up, just persevere, pray, become closer and use your community, your resources. And, people that love you and care for you to persevere. So I commend you for that.
Yeah.
So we're going to let you guys give the final words, and whatever it is that you want to share based on the topic. What would you say to our viewers out there?
I would say for young student athletes, this is more pointed at those who are, late high school, is to diversify your role models. Don't always focus on
That's good.
focus on professional athletes. Although professional athletes are probably, one of the most hardworking individuals, sometimes being in that professional atmosphere isn't always attainable for yourself. Have some real world role models like my grandfather, my mother, my sister.
Wow.
Form a greater connection to people who personally, rather than people who still work hard, but you may not have have the foresight to see what they do behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
You're so wise.
Good,
yeah, you're so wise.
That's amazing. I told y'all.
Yeah, and that's the importance of community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say, don't give up. Never give up. Believe that there's a school out there for everyone, really. And just don't give up. Ask the questions. Be that parent that raises their hand and wants to know, and just keep moving, keep pushing forward, and just believe in your child. I believed on my son. I believed in him, and I trusted him. Above all, I trusted the Lord, of course, but it was him. And everybody that said no, there was somebody that said yes.
That's right. That's a perfect way to end.
Racquel, thank you, Dom. Thank you guys for being on. We appreciate you sharing your story.
And thank you all for tuning in and listening. And hopefully there's someone out there that can relate and that this story will help someone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Mom Ballz out.
Mom Ballz out.
Bye.
Bye, guys.